Hi, I'm here with the Mass readings for Thursday, February 20th, 2020, Thursday of the 6th week in Ordinary Time. A reading from the letter of St. James. My brothers and sisters, show no partiality as you adhere to the faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ. For if a man with gold rings and fine clothes comes into your assembly, and a poor person with shabby clothes also comes in, and you pay attention to the one wearing the fine clothes, and say, "Sit here, please," while you say to the poor one, "Stand there," or "Sit at my feet," have you not made distinctions among yourselves, and become judges with evil designs? Listen, my beloved brothers and sisters. Did not God choose those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom that He promised to those who love Him? But you dishonor the poor. Are not the rich oppressing you? And do they themselves not haul you off to court? Is it not they who blaspheme the noble name that was invoked over you? However, if you fulfill the royal law, according to the Scripture, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, you are doing well. But if you show partiality, you commit sin, and are convicted by the law as transgressors. The Word of the Lord. The Responsorial Psalm. Today's Responsorial Psalm is Psalm number 34. The response is, "The Lord hears the cry of the poor. The Lord hears the cry of the poor. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall be ever in my mouth. Let my soul glory in the Lord. The lowly will hear me and be glad. The Lord hears the cry of the poor. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us together extol His name. I sought the Lord, and He answered me, and delivered me from all my fears. The Lord hears the cry of the poor. Look to Him that you may be radiant with joy, and your faces may not blush with shame. When the poor one called out, the Lord heard, and from all his distress He saved him. The Lord hears the cry of the poor. The Lord hears the cry of the poor. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 8, verse 27 to 33. Jesus and His disciples set out for the villages of Caesarea Philippi. Along the way, He asked His disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" They said in reply, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others one of the prophets." And He asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter said to Him in reply, "You are the Christ." Then He warned them not to tell anyone about Him. He began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and rise after 3 days. He spoke this openly. Then Peter took Him aside and began to rebuke Him. At this, He turned around, and looking at His disciples, rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." The Gospel of the Lord. Here are some thoughts on today's Scripture. This is what the gradual opening of the eyes of the blind man in yesterday's story indicated. The disciples had reached a stage where they had made an exciting discovery that their Master was none other than the long-awaited Messiah. The Messiah as the victorious and triumphant King who would put all Israel's enemies to flight. But the disciples would have to unlearn all this. The rest of Mark will answer the second question: what kind of Messiah is Jesus? Or what does it mean for Jesus to be the Messiah? And a further question follows from that. What will all that mean for the disciples and for us? Jesus, I trust in you. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.